Welcome back, everyone. Today, in this lesson, in this stream, I want to draw an eye using charcoal pencils while I am sharing my thinking process. And hopefully, you will learn something from my limited experience, and you can also pick your own pencils and paper and also practice with me so you can get some information and learn a little bit about um, drawing and sketching an eye with charcoal pencil. So firstly, uh, when I am drawing an eye, uh, I I imagine it like a three-dimensional object. Like when you think about the eye as three-dimensional thing, I mean this can make a whole difference in your drawing. So what I mean by that, the eyeball is not floating on a flat surface like a paper, but it is placed inside a cavity, which is the orbit. So I will draw. Let's make sure that this is clear in the stream. I think it's clear. I will draw the basic outline of the orbit like this. Let's take down the paper a little bit down. Wait a minute. Okay, I think now it is better. Now I will draw the orbit as a basic outline like this. So the orbit is like a cavity inside the skull, and according to this cavity we will have some shadow and light areas. So just a second, sorry for that. I'm making sure that everything is clear. So just a second. Okay. Now let's move on to the shape of the eye. Now, when I draw the eye, I think about it like a ball, because the eyeball is a ball, is like a ball, and it behaves like a ball when the light is hitting its surface, and there will be reflections, shadows, and one common mistake is making the sclera, which is the white of the eye, just uh, 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 just white, and you have to shade the sclera too, because it also has texture and shade and shadows. Okay, now I will draw the upper eyelid like this. and the eyelid also has some thickness, and it is not like thin paper. It has a thickness. So I will demonstrate that with making two lines like this to represent its thickness. And my purpose is not just copying the reference photo without knowing what I am doing. I want to study as much as I can. Now I will draw the lower eyelid like this. And then, because of the eyeball, there will be invagination of the lower eyelid here. And this area will be shadowed. And this is the invagination of the upper eyelid. Okay, now I will move on to drawing the iris like a circle. But we cannot see the whole circle because of the eyelids. And the eyelashes will grow from the edge of the eyelids. So now I have the basic shape of the eye, and here we have this little nice darkened circle which represents the pupil. Okay, now let's move on to the most funny part of the drawing process, which is shading. So we have different kinds of shading techniques. I made a whole video about this in my YouTube channel about different shading techniques with pencil. I think there is some problem. Wait a minute. It looks like that my phone camera is disconnected. Sorry for that. Hey, come on, work. Is it working? Yes, finally. So we have different shading techniques. You can use hatching, cross hatching, and then blend between the lines. You can also just shade like this. I am shading the orbit. So I will make this area dark. So shading is really important to learn, because without shading your art will not be energetic. So I will try to speed up. And I will make the pupil also dark. And I will also apply some shades to the sclera. Never ever leave the sclera white. I will use this thing, which is basically a blending stump made at home. I learned how to make this from the portrait art YouTube channel. So yeah, I am shading. This could take a little bit of time and requires patience. And I will move on to shading the iris too. I'm trying to observe just like this. So I'm using this blending stump like thing, and I will apply shading using it. So let's make the lower iris more straight. The initial outlines are very important. I think you should focus on it before you move on to shading. but you can also check and correct the mistakes as you move. I am applying shadings and shadings. You can also use your fingertip. Your fingertip can also apply shadings and blend. And never forget to leave the highlight. And this highlight appears because of the cornea. Now I am applying pressure while I am shading. And I am holding the pencil closer to the tip so I can apply more pressure. It needs patience and relaxation, because drawing, I think I can consider the drawing as a kind of meditation. So I will draw the eyelashes later after I apply some shadings and when I become a little bit satisfied with the shading. Okay. So I will move on to drawing to draw the eyebrow, and the eyebrow starts like this. It starts like more upward, in more upward direction, and then it becomes more horizontal, and then it becomes more downward and in direction. So it is always a good idea to sharpen your pencil, although I think sharpening the charcoal little bit tricky when compared to sharpening a traditional pencil. I'm drawing the eyebrow like this. And then I am also making this areas more dark. Using my finger, applying a little bit texture, shading. I think we are having some results here. Like this. I'm trying to not leave an area white and apply shading everywhere. So never lose the patience while drawing and enjoy the drawing process rather than waiting for the result. I am using my eraser to lift some charcoal and to demonstrate the thickness of the upper eyelid like this. and I am returning to draw the eyebrow like this. So I'm making this area darker because I think there are some shadows in this area. Using my fingertip. Your fingertip is a good tool when you are shading. I'm trying to darken this line a little bit more. And I am also shading the sclera, the iris. I am not focusing on one part. I am trying to balance between every part. I am shading the sclera too, the iris I mean. And then I want to draw the eyelashes. For this you need a very sharp pencil. And you have to draw the eyelashes. Wait a minute. Just a second. I am having a phone call here. I will use a very sharp pencil to draw the eyelashes. And the trick here is to make the eyelashes more randomized rather than regular. And the eyelashes grow in clusters rather than being um, individuals, and they are more prominent in the upper eyelid compared to the lower eyelid, which has more short eyelashes. So I will draw the eyelashes like this. I will start by applying some pressure, and then I will reduce the pressure as I reach the tip of the eyelashes. And the eyelashes grow from the edge of the eyelids rather than the eyeball. And the one common mistake is to draw the eyelashes from the eyeball, and this is just a mistake, and it is not anatomically correct. So I'm drawing the eyelashes like this. I think it is one of the trickiest part of the eye drawing process. So I'm also drawing the lower eyelid eyelashes. And I am applying shading here. It's a good idea to have a reference photo and study it. So now I am making the eyelashes more prominent. Applying shading to the eyelid to and trying to hold myself and be patient because I think there are a lot of details remaining. I mean, we are having some results here, I think. Although not very perfect, it should be a little bit acceptable. So this little triangular part, which is the tear duct, we should also not leave it blank. So I will erase this initial outline to make the drawing more natural and replace it with shading. I'm drawing the eyelashes like a curved lines. Trying to apply these little shadows. Applying shading to the sclera. And these little lines. making this little nice shadow here. And here. And here too. This little nice highlight here. Using my fingertip to basically fill the blank areas. So let's move the paper down.